Hello? What? Hey, everybody, great news. Minimum wage was just raised 65 cents an hour.
This is just too much what you have now.
This naked man is there jumping up and down.
Is that her that smells?
It would be, in effect, like pooping on poop.
Oh, yeah, brother man! Only 287 shopping days till Christmas. It's true! Welcome to the Talk Soup Weekend Edition. I'm John Henson. On this year's Beware the Ides of March hot list, Prairie View in the NCAAs, the new America's Funniest Home Videos, the Full Monty for Best Picture, and O.J. Simpson, just because we wish something bad would befall him. Coming up on today's show, women with freakishly large breasts meet the human calculator, plus an elephant tries to shell Jay Leno like a peanut. We'll have more of that playful pachyderm later. First up, Mary has absolutely nothing to do with her friend Jessica's cheating boyfriend, Scott. But that doesn't matter to the folks at Jerry Springer. Nor does Mary's apparent uninvolvement with the other woman, Cindy. What does matter is that Mary can really get her scrap on. So in the immortal words of Olivia Newton-John, let's get physical. Physical. I want to get physical. Let me hear your body talk.
You need to stay out of her life, and you need to find your own, man. You're tired. She's a skank. She goes around telling everybody she's gonna whip me. She says she goes around saying she's gonna whip me, telling my friends, oh, Mary just runs her mouth.
Here is Scott.
Axl Rose took it on the chin, didn't he? Come on, everybody, let me hear you sing. 'Cause it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old brawl game. All right, that's a good job. Yeah. Our apologies to the late Harry Carey. All right, it's confession time on Monday's Jerry Springer. Tune in as Keisha tells Jason she's really a man. It's gender-bending betrayal in all its squeamish glory Monday. Over the years, Talk Soup has introduced America to the African hissing cockroach, the kinkajou, and the Komodo dragon. Well, get ready for the latest species to step off the ark. Enter the fearsome anteater. You guys just don't get excited by wildlife the way you used to, do you? It's a shame. Here's Crook and Chase, animal expert Jack Walker, and our friend the anteater.
I'm just speechless about this. Hi. Hello there. Can I touch?
Touch her on her. There you go.
Back here. Okay.
Let me see if I can get her to turn around.
This is almost like a porcupine. It's so stiff.
Is that her that smells?
Yeah, she
Okay.
just comes down.
Oh.
Okay, bring her back out.
Oh, my.
Oh, man.
Come here, come here.
Over here, sweetheart. Okay. Okay, right, that's fine.
Here, okay, now.
Okay, see this?
Oh, my, that's
Look at
worse than
this.
my husband.
Look at this. Look at
She wants it. There she
this.
is.
Whoa! Look at that.
Okay, now look at
Now
the
hold
tongue.
it still and she'll find it.
Okay, here.
She'll get it.
Oh, my goodness, the smell.
She got
Now,
slobbery.
she actually eats ants?
Yeah, they eat termites in the wild
There
and
you
they
go.
eat
See
ants.
that?
Now, we feed her
Can you
dog
see
food,
that?
actually.
See that?
Okay, go ahead.
There she goes.
There she goes. All right, look at that.
Now, see that tongue? It can be up to 2 feet long.
Really? To get ants out of the ground?
Yeah, and also termite mounds. They dig up termite mounds. I mean, check out these claws.
Oh, their
wow.
claws
They're
are
good for
humongous.
teeth.
Now,
Okay,
I
that's it,
wasn't,
baby.
I was in
That's
such awe, I wasn't listening. Did you tell how many ants that she can eat a day?
They can eat 30,000 ants in one day.
Jeez Louise, am I the only one here who was offended by that clip? First of all, you have the major role that flatulence played in the segment. Then there's the issue of taking one of God's creatures, the friendly anteater, and exploiting it for ratings. And then, worst of all, there's Charlie Chase's bright white socks with dark pants combo. The hell is that all about? What is he, in the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones or something? For God's sake. Monday, Crook and Chase put together a nice fruit basket for actress Crystal Bernard. She used to act on Wings. Now she's a country music singer, as opposed to me, who I'm going to go from talk soup to corporate real estate. Oh. Liz heard about a friend's experiment using peppermint breath mints as an oral sex aid, but she also heard that her friend's boyfriend's penis was numb for hours afterwards. But before you go out and drop some breath savers into Chauncey's dog dish, better listen to Dr. Drew's warning in this Loveline highlight.
I was wondering before I tried this on my boyfriend if it would cause any permanent damage.
Yeah, Gertie, is the urethra made to have things stuffed into it that way?
No.
No, well this...
So you're
you put it in your mouth?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, so there's
okay.
some sort of anesthetic property to that. Look, these topical anesthetics, xylocaine-like, xylocaine creams, Emla cream, that sort of thing, they are very transient. They're not damaging. But the whole practice that you're getting into is sort of peculiar. I mean, as you say, I mean, how much
more do you need? You're already getting a BJ?
That's what you say.
I don't say that, Drew. I think that all the time. I rarely say it. Yeah, it worries me when people, especially, how old's your boyfriend?
He's 22.
And you're 19? Mm-hmm. It worries me. There's like one aspect of life that needs no embellishment. That is the oral sex. Like, there's many things you should work on in your life.
Right.
Maybe your career, your schooling, spirituality,
Yes.
your car.
Right.
But the oral sex, that's a 10.
Well, the mints cause numbness, huh? Well, you never know. For some people, that could be a plus.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-wah. It doesn't matter what comes, fresh goes better with life. With Mentos, fresh and full of life. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Mentos, the numb maker.
Okay. Those crazy European kids. Monday on Loveline, Dr. Drew and Adam will continue to counsel the lost and perverted. Joining them will be hanging with Mr. Cooper star Holly Robinson Pete. Pete. You got it. The scientific community has just discovered something dogs have known for years. Females are aroused by very specific odors. For canines, of course, it's a stinky butt. But for women, it's Good and Plenty candies and cucumbers. Sound crazy? I thought so too. But then I checked out Dr. Alan Hirsch on CBS this morning. Playing along with his stink test will be the eager nostrils of Hattie Kaufman and Jane Ribelow.
When we studied odors that enhanced female sexual arousal, we found the odor that had the greatest effect was a combination of Good and Plenty and cucumber. And Good and Plenty and banana nut bread also had a very positive effect.
Oh, Good and Plenty and banana nut bread.
That sounds like a good breakfast.
A little better than cucumber.
Okay, try baby powder.
Now, this is supposed to have some sort of effect on a woman's arousal.
Maybe it just makes you want to have a baby.
I don't know. Let's see what the
Soft
doctor
and
has to
sweet.
say. Dr. Hirsch, baby powder.
Well, baby powder also had a very positive effect. Again, maybe what happened is the baby powder induced a feeling of security and safety, and hence acted to remove inhibitions.
Okay, so it's not about wanting to have a baby, it's about having been a baby. Now, I'm not going to squirt this on you, Hattie. I'm just going to...
Men's cologne.
Yeah.
That's what they assume is going to get a woman
This is
excited.
millions and millions of dollars every year, hoping that...
So what's it doing to you, Jane? What's it doing to you?
Let me smell your wrist. Yeah, that's nice.
Well, let's see what the doctor has to say about men's cologne. Does it arouse a woman?
But it was very clear that if the aim of wearing a cologne is to enhance a woman's sexual arousal, you're much better off with some Good and Plenty than you are with the cologne.
Well, let me tell you, it didn't take long for Good and Plenty candies to capitalize on this exciting discovery.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-wah. It doesn't matter what comes, fresh goes better with life. With Good and Plenty, full of life. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Good and Plenty, the babe magnet.
Yeah. You know, I understand Chico Stick works much like saltpeter. Monday on CBS This Morning, a weekly segment focusing on the concerns of American women. It's brought to you by the fine folks at Ladies' Home Journal. Yeah, well worth the subscription price. Sure. You wouldn't dare change the channel now. Not when we got this much fun on the way. Coming up later in the show, two grown men mash. Plus, the confessions of a Latin drag queen. But first, honey, we have to talk. It's about your freakishly large breasts.
And I think it's time that you go back to what you had before because you were beautiful then, and this is just too much what you have now.
Yeah, but I like what I have now. I mean, I know they were nice before, but I like them the way they are now.
Okay.
You've seen the...
Hey, what did Talk Soup ever do to you, huh? I'm John Henson. In the past, Triumph, the insult dog comic, has threatened to poop on some of the biggest names in Hollywood. But for some reason, he's become continent around funny man Tom Arnold. Does Tom have dirt on the constipated canine? Or is there a more sinister reason? For the answers, we turn to our dear friend Conan O'Brien.
To make fun of the likes of Tom Arnold, frankly, would be all too easy. It would be, in effect, like pooping on poop.
Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute, Triumph. No. Triumph, come on. It's Tom Arnold. You're never going to get this chance again. Now, come on.
All right, what the hell. Here we go. Give me an introduction, though. Yes. All right. Tom Arnold, what a career, man. Has everyone seen the Tom Show? It's on Sunday nights on the WB. I promise you folks a terrific time for you to poop on. Oh, Tom Arnold, the WB. He's got a show on the WB. I've got worms in my stool that have a show on the WB.
Oh, that Triumph. He makes Don Rickles seem like Saget, doesn't he? Thursday on Late Night, Conan interviews ER star Juliana Margulies. She'll talk about acting with that dreamy George Clooney and explain what the heck a defibrillator is, anyway. It was spring break in Daytona Beach, complete with drunk frat rats and unnaturally top-heavy girls in bikinis. The latter were part of Jerry's poignant examination of life as a big-breasted stripper. Here for your perusal are Honey Melons and her brother, David Melons. He's the one man on Earth who wants Honey to go in for a deflation. But Sister likes her portable punching bags, something she told David in no uncertain terms.
Listen, you know, you were very beautiful before. You had a nice chest. And I think it's time that you go back to what you had before because you were beautiful then, and this is just too much what you have now.
Yeah, but I like what I have now. I mean, I know they were nice before, but I like them the way they are now.
But why
I mean,
so big?
Because I like them big. I like them big. Not only for the dancing aspect, but I like them big. I like the attention I get. I like feeling good inside. They make me feel beautiful inside.
Doesn't it bother you when we're out and guys just, they walk into walls, displays, and just...
No, I think it's actually funny. I kind of get a kick out of it because it shows the mentality of a lot of people. It's not only men, it's women. So many women I have. They want to touch them, they want to, and they laugh, they giggle.
But you ever think about how I feel, too,
They look at my
sometimes
boobs
more
and
in
then they
public.
look over at themselves.
You ever think about that, how I feel? You know, being embarrassed of all these guys walking in displays, knocking things over. Come on.
Because you're a guy, and you probably feel the same way when you look at these girls. You probably feel the same way that they do.
Well, I think you can get away with a lot more, too. When they're so busy looking at these, you could be right over their head.
You can do anything you want.
This just in. Large rain deposits caused by El Nino will result in a bumper crop of watermelons this year. This just in. Jacques Diddy-Knocker becomes the first Frenchman to scale the Grand Tetons. This just in. Brunswick has announced a 40% increase in the price of their Mondo Giganto bowling ball. And now for some extra footage featuring stripper Candy Andes explaining what she'll do when her breasts begin to sag.
I'm just going to keep getting them bigger and bigger and bigger and pick up all the loose skin until they're, like, out to here.
Oh, yeah, you hate that loose skin, don't you? Well, that's exactly what she did. She got them bigger and bigger and bigger until eventually she just, oh, the humanity! Tuesday on Jerry, meet two pregnant gals and their cheating boyfriends. The expectant moms will tell their two-timers to quit fooling around or their history. Still to come on the Talk Soup Weekly Wrap-Up, we'll use viewer mail as an excuse to air a pre-taped piece of comedy. We're sneaky like that. Plus, teaching kids about sex with tickling. It's not as creepy as you think. But first, Jay Leno has a close encounter with a perilous pachyderm.
She's going to pick you up. Just 40.
Like the flap of skin that hangs from your palate after a bowl of Captain Crunch. This is Talk Soup. I'm John Henson. It's refreshing to see an 8,500-pound talk show guest somewhere other than on the Springer Show. Her name is Ty, and she's an elephant that Jay Leno trucked in from the San Diego Zoo. Ty isn't one of those animals that just stands there and poops while paying customers gawk. No, she actually does tricks. Here's animal trainer Joan Emery putting her through the paces.
And there are less than 50,000 of them left. Hard to believe a world without elephants. She's going to pick you up. Just 40.
Thanks, buddy. What can I feed him? Something to feed him?
We have apples, yes. 40,
Would you like an apple?
40,000 mussels in that trunk. And historically, they've used their
Here you go.
trunks to work in teak forests. They use them to collect water, to forage, and she's like sizing you up.
All right.
That's a good girl.
Now, look at those feet. Can I see your foot?
Okay, pick up your foot, Ty. Now, the bottom of their feet look like a tennis shoe. So
I
she
see.
puts a foot there.
There you go.
Now you can see the bottom of it. It wears just like a tennis shoe, and her nails have to
Wow.
be manicured.
So that would not be a petite.
No. That's about a 12-inch foot. And in the wild, they spend most of their time foraging for food, and that's one of the reasons for their decline.
Now let's see him play harmonica. How do you play harmonica?
Okay, she plays a harmonica.
Now,
Here
any
we go.
particular selection she's going to do?
Okay, here we go. Her own version.
Oh, I love that blues traveler. Elephants are highly adaptive to their environment and live about 60 years. Hunted for their ivory tusks, they are the largest land mammal and have become an endangered species. Tuesday on The Tonight Show, Matt Dillon will be Jay's special guest. Matt's currently starring with Kevin Bacon in the film Wild Things. Jerry Springer, entertainer, humanitarian, talk show ratings king. It's true, the latest numbers reveal that Springer has beaten out Rosie and Oprah in 5 key markets, which I think means big cities. CBS This Morning's Mark McEwen obtained an exclusive interview with the man behind the mayhem and asked him the one question on everyone's mind. Where do you get these people?
Jerry, some of the shows that you've had on, Honey, I'm a Call Girl, I Had Sex with My Sister, things like that. When you're sitting around planning the shows, what doesn't make it on the show?
Normal behavior.
Normal behavior.
Yeah, that's true. See, all our subjects come from people calling in. That's the only way we pick our topics. We don't sit around and think these up. We get between 2,000 and 3,000 calls a day from people who want to be on the show. And the requirement to be on the show is it has to be outrageous and it has to be truthful. So if you call us with a warm, uplifting, cuddly story, we refer you to another show. It doesn't belong on our show. Ours is just about craziness. So that's the only thing that wouldn't make it, is something that was just normal and uplifting.
And Jerry, you have more fights in Madison Square Garden. I mean, people are clocking each other left and right. Are all these people real? Are there paid people who come on and play roles?
No, we don't pay them. If we paid them, then people would come on and make up stories. The people are all real. I'm fake. I used to be a woman. But no, they're all real. It's just a silly, outrageous show that's, escapist. It's chewing gum. 10 years from now, no one's ever going to remember this.
Nay, Jerry, believe you me, I'll remember. Whether it's 10 years from now or 100, I'll remember all of it. Maybe it's like Geraldo says. A fella ain't got a soul of his own, just a little piece of a big soul. So I'll be everywhere. Wherever there's a hooker tossing a shoe at a pimp, I'll be there. Wherever there's sisters who eat fire and strip, I'll be there. Whenever there's a transvestite beating up on a former child star, I'll be there. I'll be in the way hoochies yell when they're mad. I'll be in the way Siamese twins sing country music. And when the 1,200-pound couple finally get too big for their house, I'll be there, too.
I just don't understand it, Tom.
Me neither, Ma. It's just something I've been thinking about.
Tonight, eat.
So you'll get some lively entertainment.
Well, I'm going to get paddled if we don't do the Talk Soup Quote of the Week. This week's quote comes from the Jerry Springer Show. Here's Mary giving her friend's cheating man a piece of her mind. Oh, yeah! Yeah! Not an actual quote, but it was audible. Pounding on. Tim is a recovering sex addict who, at his low point, or his high point, depending on the way you look at it, was sleeping with 4 prostitutes a day. Tim is not proud of his behavior, nor does he condone it from others. That's why he was anxious to face Al Goldstein, the publisher of Screw magazine. According to Tim, Al and others in the smut industry are partly responsible for America's preoccupation with sex. He and his wife, Michelle, squared off with the porn king, while Sally Jesse kept the order.
20 million people buy Hustler, Screw, Playboy, Penthouse.
But sex addict has nothing to do with
It builds
porno.
a constituency. There are people addicted to talk shows. So what, are you going to bust everyone who watches Sally?
Nobody's mentioned this but him. Nobody's mentioned Sally.
I am the voice of reason on this panel of misfits.
You did say one thing, Sally, please. Let me just say this without interruption, okay? Without interruption. Your voice of reason, all right? What happens is you take something and you begin to think about it. And if you think about it long enough, it took years of sitting in front of the pornography bookstores. It took years of sitting in front of the VCR, of wanting that and lusting after that. Instead of putting my heart in where my wife should be, I was stuck on pornography. And I tell you what, that stuff, I'm not blaming you or your industry, but it was a lure and a hook that sucked me in and took me down to where I finally decided I'm going to do this. I'm going to go out and do what I see on the screen. And it destroyed me.
A fat, perverted jerk.
Al later made the astute observation that President Clinton was, quote, the poster boy for porn. And wouldn't you know it, I think we have a copy of that particular poster. You'll see right here. Oh, yeah. Oh, Bill. Constantly coming up with new ways to disappoint us. Wednesday on Sally, it's a show she's titled, You Dumped Me, Now Eat Your Heart Out. This will show the jerks they used to date how beautiful they look now. They call Scott Flansburgh the human calculator, and for good reason. Flansburgh is too hard to say. Also, he can do complex computations with his noggin without even using a number 2 pencil. It's kind of like Rain Man without all the stuttering. Here's Flansburgh now, showing off his mental hopscotch on the Home and Family Show. Flansburgh.
Well, Christine, just give me some 3-digit numbers, and I'll say plus between each one, and he'll do it on the calculator.
Okay.
I'll do it in my hand.
478
Plus.
724
A little slower for him. Go ahead. Plus.
670
Yeah.
394
And how about one more?
879.
879. There's no way. 3145.
Get out. That's on the money.
But see, I can teach you how to do that. I'll teach you guys how to do it.
God.
Now, and the constant thing is pretty weird. That's the only thing I can do that I can't explain how I do it. Just sort of happens. It makes sense in my brain. Like if I ask you to count by 7.
A gift.
I know. Well, this is the weird part. I do. It's a God-given talent. But I feel like my talent is that I can share my gift to help other people get excited about math and help them overcome. So, like if I asked you to count by 7, Mike, you'd go 7, 14, 21. On a calculator, that's easy to do.
After
21,
But pick
I'm
like a
gone.
3-digit number, Mike.
Okay,
Just punch it
how
in.
about 451?
Now go plus. 451. And
Nine.
now you're going to keep adding plus, and it's going to keep adding 451. I'll do it in my head. So you got 902, right?
Yeah.
The next one's you got 1353, 1804, 2255, 2706, 3157, 3608, 4059, 4510, 49615, 4125, 863, 6314, 6765. Da-da-da-da-da. Just keeps going.
Oh, sure, that's amazing, huh? But I can do some pretty fancy tricks on my calculator. If I press in the right numbers here, and I turn it upside down, you'll see that it spells boobless. That's right. I think we know who the real man is. Wednesday on Home and Family, meet daredevil women who aren't afraid to race motorcycles. Chicks on Choppers, Wednesday on Home and Family. Recently on The Tonight Show, LA Confidential's Kim Basinger had one of those awful on-air moments. She was reminiscing about rising at the crack of dawn to watch the Oscar nominations when all of a sudden, shocking words started coming out of her mouth. Who put them there? Did they come from some hidden part of her psyche? And for the last time, is it Basinger or Bassinger? I tossed to Jay for the answers.
Do you want to watch the nominations? And I said, do you want to watch? He said, watch what? What? I said, the nominations. And he went, what? Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? And he jumps out of the bed. And this is only for my eyes, guys. I mean, he jumps out of bed. He grabs the, you know, the clicker, the remote. He turns it on, Good Morning America. And they are announcing the nominations. And my name was, I mean, my picture came up.
Did he go nuts?
And he went insane. And I'm telling you, he's jumping. This naked man is there, jumping up and down. Yeah, and Ireland's sitting there. I mean, it was the funniest thing. And I'm still sitting on the edge of the bed with my mouth open.
I wish I were Alec Baldwin. Wednesday on The Tonight Show, Jay welcomes Mutual of Omaha's Peter Gross. The animal expert will explain why most North American mammals like to defecate in front of TV cameras. I think it's genetic. Just ahead on the Talk Soup Weekend edition, I'll pay the postage due on some viewer mail. Plus, Mrs. Brady talks about masturbation. But first, a timid stilt walker attempts to break a world record without getting a boo-boo.
Here we go. Slow her down a little bit. Second door. Hang on, relax. Come on.
Hi, I'm Kevin Smith. I'm a guy you don't know. You see me in these little films and Chasing Amy and Clerks and stuff like that. But anyway, you're watching E.
Hi, I'm John Henson, but I'd much rather be called Anthony. This is Talk Soup. Before attempting to break his father's stilt-walking world record, 16-year-old Travis had to prepare. First, he climbed high into the air on a platform erected especially for the event at Universal Studios. Next, he strapped on a pair of 40-foot, 10-inch tall stilts and climbed into a protective harness. Finally, he gingerly settled himself in between the safety ropes and then threw caution to the wind. Here he is on CBS This Morning.
Yes, you can. You can start right there and start with one step again. There you go. Come on, Travis. Hang on. Forward, fast.
I see.
Okay, oh. Try right there again.
Just say.
Oh, it's coming back.
Okay, he has a safety rope attached, so he really can't fall. He's not in danger of falling, is he?
Okay, Travis, we can do it now. Relax. Comfortable. Feels good up here. Here we go. Slow her down a little bit. Second door. Hang on, relax. Come on.
We have 30 seconds left before we have to go off the air.
Here we go.
And we'll see if we can do this in these 30 seconds.
Come on. Come on.
Oh.
21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. We have 26.
We got her yet.
26.
We got it.
That's
We've
the
got it.
world
We've got a
record.
new record. We've got 26
did it.
steps.
Oh, hold
You
on.
did it. Travis has done it.
Congratulations. Oh, my goodness. The Guinness record set right here. 16-year-old Travis. Congrats.
Come on, man! The kid's got a harness and safety wires, for God's sake. Put me up there for the better part of an afternoon. I'll bang out a world record. That's not a problem. The problem is getting the stilts. That's the only obstacle. It's the high startup costs that always bite you in the butt. Tuesday on CBS This Morning, Martha Stewart will have tips to enrich your lives. They'll include ideas on decorating, restoring, cooking, gardening, and being smarter than everyone else in the room. Well, if I had my druthers, kids would get all the sex education they needed from watching E's Sex on the Riviera. Millions of Americans disagree, which is why we have psychologists like Gwendolyn Goldsby Grant around to help us teach our children. They're the future, by the way. At least that's what Whitney Houston says. Grant thinks that the more education kids have, the better equipped they are for the outside world. And as she told The View's Meredith Vieira, tickling your child's genitalia may be even better than flashcards.
I think knowledge is power. And children need power and body love and body knowledge, which builds self-esteem. And I think when you give children correct knowledge, they know how to protect themselves.
What do you mean they know how to
against sexual abuse. Okay? They know how to protect themselves when it's a good touch or a bad touch. Well, they know the difference.
Well, like I said, my parents never told me about it, but I also never went out on a limb to ask them. Like, what do you do in a situation like that? I'm embarrassed to say something. If they're embarrassed to say something, then what?
But make sex like a game. You know, if your child's taking a bath, play tickle. And tickle every body part. It's teaching anatomy. And say, this is your penis, tickle, tickle. This is your arm, tickle, tickle. Don't
At what age do you stop doing that game?
No, but I'm serious. I mean,
no, but I mean it. Like, I have little...
think that is molestation.
Right. My little kids are 5, 6, and 9. My 9-year-old yesterday, I said to him, what's this? Pointed to myself. He said, Mom, that's sexual harassment. That's, I mean, at 9, he's already like, whoa.
Hey, you know, that reminds me of playing the tickle game with my Uncle Sam. Only it really wasn't a tickle game. It was more of a touching game. Come to think of it, it wasn't actually a game. It was more of a struggle. In fact, he wasn't even really my uncle, and he's in jail now, so I guess it's kind of a different story altogether. Sorry. My bad. Monday on The View, the gals fluff up the pillows for Rosie O'Donnell. The talk show queen is up for a gazillion daytime Emmys. Francis thinks his brother Ron should break up with his girlfriend Jennifer. Why the ill will? Well, first of all, Jennifer already has a boyfriend named Keith. Second of all, she's pregnant and not sure who the real father is. Besides that, she's a real class act. In this Jerry clip, Francis will do his best to bust up Ron's romance and save the family name.
Ron, what do you want to say to... You've heard what your brother says. I understand you're saying... What do you want to say to Jennifer?
What do I want to say to Jennifer?
Back off. That's a big mistake. Back off. Why do you want to do that? Back off. That's our family name. You want to disgrace. No. I'll break you in half. Do it then. I'll break you in half. It's better than you being with her.
Do you know me?
Whoa, wait a second. This has got to be really old Springer. They didn't even hit each other, for God's sake. Where's the mayhem? Where's the bloodshed? This is an outrage. What's he trying to do, turn us into pacifists? Sorry, I lost my temper, boys. Thursday, Jerry solves a maternal mystery with a paternity test. He'll tell a guest whether her child is her husband's or his brother's. If fists don't fly on that show, then my name's not Krippendorf. That sudden sense of well-being can mean one of only two things. Either I didn't say that correctly, or it's time to read a little viewer mail. Hey, all right. What the hell? This week's letter comes to us from Marlene Lopez of West Covina, California. She writes, Dear John, if you could be someone else, who would you be? Well, that's an interesting question, Marlene. I've always wanted to be an investigative reporter. In fact, recently, I got a chance to act out that fantasy when E! News Daily sent me to a suspicious gathering of some sinister forces that would have us believe it was merely a boat show. We're here today at the 42nd Annual Southern California Boat Show. When one looks around, one sees a lot of boats and boat-related products. Is it that simple? We think it might be something far more sinister.
This is a 22-foot bass boat powered by a 225-horsepower fuel-injected Mercury outboard.
And what is it used for?
Tournament bass fishing.
Tournament bass fishing. Then I ask you, Dennis, what is stored in here?
That is a fuel tank.
Oh, a fuel tank.
Yes, it is.
What about this chair? Would that be a lookout seat?
No, that would be a pedestal seat for fishing in a tournament.
And this particular compartment right here, could it not be used for storing cocaine? Ah. Let me ask you something, Jim. Have you ever eliminated someone? Eliminated someone with extreme prejudice? This, of course, is where they cook the crack cocaine. They bake it in these ovens, and then they put it down here in the dryers for a fluff and fold process that makes it bulkier and heavier for resale on the open market.
This is a 42-pound catfish caught at Lake Irvine.
42 pounds. Looks a little heavy to me. This looks more like about a 25-pound fish. Are you or are you not storing cocaine inside that fish? I'm king of the world! I'm king of the world!
This is the 98 XP Limited. It speeds up to 62 miles an hour. It's the fastest boat on the water.
Andy, I hate to break it to you, but this is not a boat.
Yes, it is.
Andy, I have seen boats, and this is not a boat. You, sir, are a liar, and I demand to speak to your superiors. Where are they? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I want answers. I want answers! Clearly, I got too close to the truth for their comfort. What's going on here at the 42nd Annual Southern California Boat Show? I don't know. But I do know this. Whatever it is, the cover-up goes all the way to the top.
He was an up-and-coming...
When you think of Carol Brady, you don't think about masturbation. Unless, of course, maybe you're Barry Williams. Come on, it's funny! Florence Henderson dropped by the Home and Family set the other day and found herself smack in the middle of a celibacy roundtable. The panel included Dave Hart, a spokesperson for a group called Sex, Love, and Choices. They advocate abstinence. Also present were Virgin Catherine Peacock and 27-year-old born-again virgin Dave DeRocher. And, Mrs. Brady.
Is it okay to have masturbation? Is that acceptable?
Wow.
Yeah, if you didn't ask it, I was going to ask it.
No, let me take that.
Yeah.
Because that's a question that comes up frequently from the kids, and it says, okay, how about masturbation? And one of, I guess our official response to that is there's nothing inherently wrong with it, but just understand that pornography is generally involved in that somehow, and we do get into the pornography issue a lot. Well, I'm talking to 16-year-old guys right now.
Oh,
with the 16-year-old guys.
16-year-old girls? Hello?
We generally don't get the masturbation question from them. The big question we get. The big question we get from the girls.
Yeah, I don't even understand that desire to want to do that. I honestly
well, sometimes this is why this is such an interesting topic, because contrary to popular belief, some women have greater sex drives than men, and vice versa. So you really can't put us all in one category.
Hey, she should know something about honking the happy horn, huh? She had 6 kids in one bathroom. Think about it. I think we know why Greg wanted his own room. Friday on Home and Family, hilarious look at turning 50. CBS News commentator Bill Geist will discuss his fears about middle age. I guess Bill expects to be 100. Time to hitch a ride on the malignant monorail all the way to Transvestite City. With Sally's help, we're going to learn some poignant truths about achieving a successful drag queen lifestyle. It takes hard work, a strong constitution, and apparently a bold and beautiful name. I give you Sasha, Alexis, and Natasha. 3 transies with something to say. Here's Natasha, or Sasha, whatever, explaining how her Mexican family dealt with the news.
When I told him I was gay, it was like, no me dijiste eso, papá, no. Okay? I said, yes, I am, right? And it was especially hard when I had to tell them I wanted to live as a girl. They said, okay, Latino, joto, y mujer. No, okay? I'm sure some people understood that.
We understand. We understand. What is the most misunderstood thing about you?
Then we're trying to deceive people.
Right.
That's
We're trying to compete with women.
Which bachelor
Okay, you are not trying to deceive us, and you are not trying to repeat.
We're trying to make
I think it's like a homage to women that,
when girls like us go on these talk shows, the first thing that they hear from the audience is, where do you put it? Or what bathroom do you use? I mean, open your eyes, everybody. What bathroom do you use? Could you walk in the women's room, boys' bathroom, standing up and taking a leak?
I heard something sort of strange in that clip. Can you just play that back for a second?
I think it's like a homage to women.
I believe you mean homage. Later, the girls help less confident transies talk to their parents, because a transvestite without confidence is just a guy in a dress. Coming up after the break, find out why you should consider taking boxing lessons before going on the Springer Show. It's a good idea.
Did someone say...
They say cheaters never prosper, and this should come as bad news to Springer panelist Jimmy. He's one of those guys who thinks monogamy is overrated, an opinion he's kept secret from his girlfriend of 2 years, Tracy. Well, I think it's high time Tracy found out he's been getting milk from outside the cooperative, which means it's also high time for me to introduce the Talk Soup Clip of the Week.
This is 1998. This is not the Puritan. We're not pilgrims. If you're attracted to somebody, and you want to have sex with them, why? If that's what you really want to do.
There are a lot of people since the Pilgrims that are faithful. Trust me. All right. So you're seeing someone else. Yeah. So you're cheating on both of them. All right. Bring out who it is.
Come on now. Two guys kissing and a fight? That's a hell of a climax for the show. Well, that's it for this edition of Talk Soup. I know it's hard to get the image of Mrs. Brady out of your mind. Or maybe you're just really into cooking oil. Either way, I'm sure the following visuals will please you greatly. Good day now. Sorry about the boat show letter segment.
I'm looking for a man who looks sharp in tie and spats. Oh, yes, Lord, I'm looking for a man who is high in polyunsaturated fats. A fella who can make my heart boil like a light and tasty vegetable oil, like a deep-fried sign from above. Oh,